All right, it's a beautiful, cold, rainy April morning. And today we're continuously getting ready for these babies. So I've decluttered the entire kitchen and living room. We've got some cleaners coming in doing a one-time cleaning. So my house is very dirty when you look at like the cupboards, the baseboards, the underneath the island, just like the shower. Like, I'm good at maintaining a decent level of cleanliness, but with the wife out of commission, right, there's just no time for deep cleaning. So I'm very excited to be able to meet the cleaners here today at 10 a.m. where I'm gonna go through and be like, all right, look at all these stains on this light tan hardwood floor. We got 2 dogs, we got kids, there's fingernail polish, there's slime stuff stuck on it. Like, I'm just ready for someone to come in and just make it clean, right? How about the hood above the stove? Like, that needs to be clean. It's got gunk on it from cooking. The stove top, although I have recently cleaned it, it just needs it again. And I'm just really excited for that process because it really needs it pretty bad. Also, my garage is full of garbage. So garbage comes from when I clean like a kid's room, I will have multiple construction bags full of garbage because they just accumulate toys from birthdays and Christmases, and it's just too much, right? So I go ahead and I throw them away, like old clothes, I'll throw them away. And so I've got construction bags of garbage. Also, Amazon boxes. I got so many Amazon boxes. With these twins coming, we're getting like 10 packages a day. And some of these boxes are huge. They're taking up the entire right side of the garage. And not to mention all the garbage we have stacked on the side of the house from over the years. Whether that be old dressers, we got mattresses, we just got junk upon junk. So there's a kid who owns his own business of removing garbage, which is fantastic. He works, he is at the high school. And so I texted him and said, hey, can you do this? And he said, sure. So that's getting done. Also, our front porch, our fence, and our back deck, they're all unstained and they all look bad. So I've got a college kid who's just starting, coming to take a look at how much it would cost to pressure wash and stain all 3 of those. If I can get all 3 of those at a decent price, I'm gonna get that done. That'll make my wife so happy, all 3 of those things. Mother's Day is right around the corner and I'm trying super hard. Mother's Days, birthdays, anniversary, do not mess these days up, gentlemen. Make it special. Even if they act like they don't care. Oh, they care. What a better, there's no better opportunity to help them feel like they married an amazing person than making those days extremely special. Even if they anticipate it. Even if you have to top the last year, just do it. It's worth it. And then afterwards, she feels great, you feel great. It's totally worth it. All right, I'm excited to see the cleaners and see how this goes. All right, so the cleaning went amazing when we came home. We had to go out to eat so that the cleaner could have more time. The cleaner was there from like 10 to 5 o'clock and still didn't get everything done that they needed to get done. So we walked in, it was like a brand new house again. I think the biggest thing is the floors were scrubbed, the cabinets, the walls, it was white as white. They moved all of the furniture, they scrubbed the furniture, they vacuumed the furniture. I think they might even shampooed the furniture. Just absolutely amazing. Still haven't gotten the bill yet. We're kind of a little, skeptical about what it's gonna be, but yeah. I also wanted to just touch base about why things can go such awry, I think, as a parent. So just like in anything, The best of the best really master the mundane. Every day is so similar, right? We wake up, routine, especially on weekdays, getting the kids' stuff ready, doing this, doing that. But that's where the wins are found. That's where we establish who we are with what habits we decide to do each day, right? If I wake up and I have a smoke, which my parents did for 30, 40 years, right? That's going to add up to be really bad. But if I wake up and I decide to read 3 chapters from my Bible every morning, or I decide to read 10 pages of an amazing self-development book, right? To get my head on straight. If I do that every morning, that adds up to a lot, all right? Little by little, a little becomes a lot. I absolutely love that phrase, and it's so true, especially when you're a parent. Am I right? Like, I can totally see why marriages fall apart. I can totally see why relationship with kids fall apart, because it's so mundane, right? We're just scrambling, doing everything the same every day, and it seems like a hamster wheel that we can't get off. And then what do? We chase those highs, right? Those spikes in adrenaline. A lot of times when you're an adult, that means, doing things you're probably not supposed to do, like having a few extra drinks or trying to, go golfing or win the next football game or do something that maybe leaves your wife in a bad spot at home with the kids, because you're looking for something fun, right? But we got to have fun with what we're doing, because we know that we're building something that can let us have the most fun, right? When we're older. For example, I see some guys who, when they're in their 50s, right, they're divorced, right, relationship with their kids aren't great. Well, a lot of times that's because they were chasing fun when their kids were little, right? And their marriage was still young and developing. So I would rather put in the time, energy, effort to make sure that everything is good to go now, right? Sacrifice fun now, develop the best of habits, so that when I'm in my mid-40s, right, mid-50s, I'm in the best shape of my life and my kids are older and I've got grandkids. And then I can have my fun and I can do all the amazing things that you just want to do, right? You don't want to feel like you're captured, like you can't do fun things because everybody needs you all the time. But that's part of the process. That's where diamonds are made, right? With the most pressure put on them. So if you're a young dad or a young mom, just know that these days are not survival. They're where you're going to grow the most. And all it starts with is just those little daily habits every single day that you do. Find one domino habit, one catalyst where if you can just get this under control, I think I can figure the rest out. For me, that was eating. I was constantly eating, and it affected everything. Okay? Once I got that under control, it just took me one day at a time. After about a week, it was all downhill from there. That first week was impossible, but I got through it and then kept my eye on the prize. And then I was able to do a bunch of other great things because of that one domino habit. So figure out what that habit is for you. Love the mundane and be okay with not chasing thrills for now. How old do you still brush your kids' teeth? I still brush all my kids' teeth. They only get one set of teeth, and to be frank, I don't trust them. Right? They say they brush their teeth and they're like, and then they're like, I'm done. It's like, no, you gotta get every little piece. Now, I know that's a super type A in me. I do let them brush their teeth by themselves at night, Okay, but I have to make sure I do it at least once a day, especially in the morning before they go out for school. 13? I can imagine I got a high schooler who I'm still brushing their teeth because I know they don't care. They don't make sure they get all the places in their teeth, right? And especially I got one with braces. It's like, man, we got to make sure we got those things on lockdown, right? We got the water, flosser. We're blasting the water in there. We recently, I don't know, about a month and a half ago, bought our first half of a cow. So if you're not familiar with this process, what it is you go to a local farmer and you say, I want to purchase a half a cow. And so what they do is they give you a sheet that tells you what kind of meat that you want from the cow. This includes what kind of roasts, ribs, what kind of steaks you want, and how much of it you just want it all thrown in a hamburger. I was very reluctant because a half a cow gives me 390 pounds of beef at about, $1,800. But it is the best decision that I've made. So being able to just have all of this hamburger available all the time, and the hamburger is so lean. Like, you know how usually you get like the 80-20 and it's like, you start putting it on the stove and it's like watery because there's so much fat or whatever, and it's kind of white and greasy. No, this stuff is like red. It's like 95.5, I feel. And so it is just fantastic stuff. And also steaks. I got so many steaks and they're huge. They're like 2-pound steaks and there's like 2 of them in each package. So to constantly have steak and hamburger available, it comes out to like $6 a pound. If you buy steak at the grocery store, it's like $15-20 a pound. And then if you buy, ground beef at 95 or whatever, it's like $10 a pound. You're saving more than double what you would pay. So it's astronomically just a great decision. Okay? And there's nothing like letting a roast sit in on a Saturday morning and then being able to eat it Saturday night. It's just fantastic. So, brushing your kids' teeth and buying a cow. I think you just do it.